Well, good morning. Today I want to do a little maintenance on my daily driver. It's still winter here in Michigan, so I haven't been able to do much, but I'm still trying to get a few things done here and there, you know, when a guy can. So let's go ahead and pull in my daily driver. I want to change the fluid in the CVT transmission, which I've never done before, so I figured take you guys along for the ride. So let's get it in here, jacked up, turn the heat on, and finish my coffee here this morning. Let's see how this goes. Okay, we got it in and jacked up, all four sides. I went ahead and took some advice and got some locking new jack stands for the front. They're actually a 3-ton, so I got one of those on each, and then my old AC Delco 2 tons in the back. I'm leaving the tires on and everything, so I did the shake test. She doesn't move. Anyway, leave the tires on, that way if it does drop, hopefully it doesn't kill me. Just some outdoor corrugated I had left over. I'm gonna use that to slide my belly on. And we're gonna get under here and try to find, right there, the fill and drain plug for this thing. All right, under the car here, I got my drain pan here. We are going to, here's the cover for the transmission. There's our drain plug right here. But the fill is over here, up in here, and this plastic piece is in the way. So, looks like a couple 12 millimeter sockets, and some push pins. Let me pull the plastic piece off first, and then I want to get that fill plug out before I do the drain plug, just to make sure, you know, the guy can get to it. Okay, well that's not fun, but there's a couple, 2 of these pop pins. Just be careful, you know, they're pretty brittle. 2 of those and 3 12 mil bolts to get it to this point here where you can at least get it down far enough. I'm not going to take off a couple up there. I think I can get in here. Let's see, the fill plug is right there. I believe, let's see, what is this? A T8 maybe? That's it. It's kind of, because it's so rusty, I'm sure this has never been out. Let me try to pop that off. Whew, I got it. I had to use my other jack handle as leverage to get on there. I didn't have an extension. That was all I could. So let's, I can already see fluid. Let's do this under here. Do I have this thing open? I hope this, no, I gotta open this up. Okay. Gonna be, there should be a little bit coming out, but not a whole hell of a lot. That was in there. Wow. Oh yeah, see, there's a little coming out. It doesn't look terrible. Boy, almost seems overfilled. I don't think there'd be that much coming out. Oof. I'll let that do that a minute. Then we'll go over and I believe that's a 12 millimeter over there for the drain. And we'll drain the rest of it out and then we can pop off. These look smaller, I'd say 10. I'll find out and let you know. I think those are 10 mils. Get that pan off. I got a new gasket, a new screen pickup, And I really want to get that off because I know it's never been off, and I want to check the, there should be a magnet in there. I want to get that all cleaned off. All right, be right back. All right, drain plug was not as tight. It is a 14 millimeter. Let's see what this looks like. This one's still dripping. I think they overfilled it. Oh, making a mess. It's dirty. I don't see any chunks or anything, so that's good. All right, we'll let this drain a minute, and then we'll start popping this pan off. Okay, so you always want to check your new parts before you pull off the old ones. And as I suspected, this is nothing like the shape of my current pan. So I don't think it's the right one. Anyway, that's kind of a bummer. So I'm not going to pull off the pan this time. I am going to save the gasket. This is the screen I wanted to put in. It didn't look too bad dropping the oil out of it, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the process of just refilling it without cleaning out the inside this time. I'm going to do some research and see if I can get them to send me the right pan, and then in another 25,000 miles or so, I'll probably do it again and give it a really good flush. At least that way I know the fluid's gone through it a couple times, new fluid went through it. You know, there's nothing else I can do. I don't have enough time to go find a gasket today. I work all week. I only have one day, usually a day, to do this, and I have to have this is the vehicle I use for my job. So that's the reason I try to do most of this maintenance myself, saving a little bit of money. So, but I will eventually get to dropping that pan because I'd like to see what that looks like in there. This vehicle's got about 170,000 miles on it, just to get an idea. So right around the 200,000 mile mark, I'll try to do this again, and we'll just drop the pan. Anyway, let's figure out how we get fluid back in this thing now. Okay, our fluid of choice today. Yeah, there. We got the Subaru CVT F2. It's a little expensive. It's about 100 bucks for, I got 6 quarts off the Jungle website. I'm hoping that's enough. And because there's no dipstick or anything on these vehicles, you need to buy one of these. I'll post a link down below if this one works okay. It was the cheap one. Let's get this open first, and then we'll start filling it up. All right, so pretty nice. Feels like a pretty quality pump actually for the money. Just got the quick connector there, which is kind of nice. Came with this hose. Came with another one that's a little bit smaller. I'm just going to try this one first. We'll start with a quart, try to get this up in there, fill it up until it starts, I'll go through until it starts to drip. Then we'll close it up, fire up the car, let it heat up, open it back up after we turn the car off and it's warm, top it off, also go through the gears and stuff. You know, basic maintenance stuff. All right, little update. It's going all right. I'm 3 quarts in. You can see the green color that's supposed to be. You guys saw how dark it was. A couple things. It's messy, but I wouldn't go, this is working pretty good. I wouldn't go any smaller. This is a 500 cc, and I can get about through 2 of these quarts at a time if I fill that all the way up. And then there's just a little bit at the left and the bottom. I just dump it into the next one and keep going. So 3 in. I'm gonna go on to number 4 here. I'll keep you posted when it starts to dribble out the top. All right, actually 4.5. I got that much left in there, that one, and that one left of 6. So it's dripping out. I'm letting it drip slowly out. You see it there? Just a slight drip. I'm gonna let that drip a little longer. You basically just want a very light stream coming out, about like that. Gotta get you guys in here for this. It's a mess. Like I said, I work out of this vehicle, so see what happens. check engine lights or anything. You see the blue light there? That is your cool engine because it hasn't been running. And transmission. So once that turns off, we'll know we'll be close to operating temperature. Foot on the brake. So reverse, neutral, drive, neutral, reverse, park. There you go. So far, so good, as the guy would say. Also, neighbor's house burned down the other day. Sad story to have that happen, but I'm looking at that all the time now. All right, we just wait now for a few minutes. I'll get back to you once this heats up. We'll get my temp gun down there and see where we're at. I think we want to be around 100 degrees or something like that. And I would say 6 quarts would have probably been a little close if we would have dropped that pan. I went through 4.5. And of course, without dropping the pan, you don't get all of it out. It would have been enough, but just know it takes a good 4.5 to 5 just to drop the oil, fill it back up. So. All right, still hasn't warmed up. Oh, light just turned off, actually. Ha! All right, I'll take my heat gun here. So just point it on there and see where we're at. About 54. All right, finally got it up to operating temperature, turned it off, up to about 92 degrees is what I ended up at. It's really cold out. I had the door open, so it took like 20 some minutes for it to get to that temperature. I think it's good enough. I'll pull out the plug again, see if anything comes out. If it doesn't, I'm gonna put some more in and get it back to that steady drip. Put the plug back in, wipe everything down, and then we gotta put that plastic piece back in, which is just a couple snap rings, a couple 12mm bolts. Then we'll go take it for a test drive, see how it does. All right, everything's back together. Plastic piece back in. I ended up putting about 3 to 4 more ounces of fluid in, so I have about 1.25 quarts or so left. Without dropping the pan, that's what it ended up taking. I put everything back in, wiped everything down and all that good stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna take it out now for a little spin. We don't have any lights coming on or anything. Just a couple miles around the block here a minute. And then eventually I need to, I noticed I have a seal in the front driver's side CV axle is leaking. So I'm gonna have to replace that. So I'll get online, I'll look for the parts on that and look for the parts and everything in the description of this video of what I used. The pump worked great. It is a little bit of a chore because you have to fill everything from underneath with that pump, but I wouldn't be scared to pull that pan off. I looked into it. Looks like you need to have this red RTV that Subaru wants you to buy, which is ridiculously expensive, like over $100 a tube. So I'm gonna look into that a little more, buy maybe 4 more quarts of the fluid here in another 4 or 5 months, and then drop that pan. And I'll just do a quick video on that of me actually dropping the pan, putting it back in, just so you can see that part of it too. But I don't see that being much of an issue. So, all right, let's take this for a ride. All right, here we go. Should shift. Wasn't really giving me any issues, but it should be happier now anyway. Oof, I got a mess. I guess I gotta clean that up. You can see all the oil and grease on me. Just get it through the gears. Ooh, it is a little quicker on the, from reverse to drive. These vehicles tend to have a little bit of a delay. You kind of just get used to it. Felt a little quicker though that time. Everything looks good. Temperature is up to where it needs to be. I mean, I don't know how brand new Subaru Fluid would make it worse, but you just never know, right? Let's see what she does. Very smooth, no issues at all. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this one. Appreciate you guys very much. Also, all you guys that comment, love to see the comments. Good or bad, just put a comment in there, you know. Sorry it was a little choppy today. I was in a hurry. Wish we could have got a little more done on it with the gasket and all that being incorrect, but you know, that's the real life situation here. I'm not gonna edit it out and act like it didn't happen. That's just the way this goes. And if you've worked on vehicles or anything for that matter, you know that's exactly what happens. That's why I always check before I take something apart that the new part looks at least similar in a guy's eyes. You know what I mean? So again, thank you very much. And look for the description to have the parts I listed, and I'll put the cost in there as well. And I can tell you that it's gonna be a big savings for a couple hours of work. Took me about 2 hours over the dealership's pricing. All right, until next time, we'll see you guys. Thanks.